record highs. Let's forget about who's at fault here. The fact is, we have a problem that is not getting resolved. The President of the United States came to New Hampshire within the last couple of weeks after he announced his budget. His budget was $1.9 trillion out of balance. That's like me as the mayor of Manchester presenting a $300 million budget that is $90 million out of balance. If I did that, people rightly so would say, this mayor is out of touch. That would equate to more than a 30% tax increase if a budget like that actually ever passed in the city of Manchester. I am shocked that we could see a budget proposal that is out of balance, first of all, and it doesn't capture the anger of elected representatives through the country. That it's just the norm that a budget is being passed without ways to pay for it, which means we're either going to have higher taxes or we're going to have continued debts and deficits. We don't do that at home, we don't do it in our businesses. Our governments should not be doing it either. Secondly, for the last year, we have continued to see unemployment rise, not just in New Hampshire, but all throughout the country. And the focus has been on government-run health care for a year. Finally, we've had a proposal for a, quote, jobs bill. We're not quite sure what's in it yet. We don't know exactly how it's going to help each and every person who's out of work, but we hear that it's coming. A year into this term, when people have been struggling to find a job, keep their bills paid on time, people now feel that they're not going to be handing over a stronger country to their children, or a stronger economic country to their children. And we see Congress and this president not trying to solve the problems. And it's frustrating to people. It's very frustrating to people. And I think people are angry, and they're voicing that anger, and rightly so. So as I talk to people about why I'm running and why I'm asking for you to support this effort, I'm going to focus on several things. Cutting the debt and deficit, ensuring that balanced budgets are adopted by the Congress, making sure that we reform government to prioritize, cut spending, cut taxes, get this economy going again by taking government out of your businesses and out of your homes, and making sure that government is far smaller. I believe in a smaller form of government. Most people say it. It's very hard to commit to that. But I will tell you, the way you do it is to restrain spending. And the last thing that I did in Manchester was able to, after a 2-year fight, was able to see a spending cap on the ballot in Manchester, and it actually passed in a Democrat city. We allowed people the opportunity to make their point, their positions known, and they said, yes, we want a spending cap in the state's largest city because we want you to control spending. And we want you to be effective and efficient when it comes to providing government service. And that's what I focused on this 4 years as mayor, prioritizing, cutting spending, cutting taxes, making people safer, and trying to be a customer-friendly city. And guess who the customers are? People who pay the taxes. And I think this federal government, this Congress, should be acting in that same manner. And I don't see it. I honestly do not see that happen. And it's sad, because we used to believe, I think, that government could do something effective and could be responsible and responsive. But we see it now as a runaway train, and we see it without a reflection of the needs of our communities, our states, and our country. And that's why I decided to run, because I thought that my experience, not just in business, but in elected office, could be valuable to the other people in Washington who are making decisions. And I think that it's an opportunity to give you a voice into what is very important to you in Washington. Now, part of what we're doing on this tour is we're going around the district for 7 weeks. We're doing 6 town halls. We're doing 60 stops in 40 towns to make sure that people have an opportunity to talk with me and tell me what's on their mind. So you're here tonight to not so much hear about me, but I want to hear from you. I want to know what it is that you want. And you can let me know or tell me what's on your mind, ask me a question. I'll tell you, if I don't know the answer tonight, I'll get back to you. I think it's very important for each person who wants to serve to be able to say, you know what, I may not know the answer to that question, but I will always get you an answer. And that's the way I served as mayor, and that's the way I would serve as your member in Congress. So I'd like to open it up to the group and